All right, how are we doing? So today I want to talk about how to get stronger as an intermediate. So that you might be a weightlifter, a powerlifter, someone that's just generally training strength, and you've gone through that beginner program. Okay, so maybe you've done starting strength or strong lifts for 3 to 6 months. You maybe deloaded a couple of times on it, but you've hit some plateaus. You've got a reasonable base of strength underneath, but now you seem to be getting stuck. You know, your lifts aren't moving that far. I can't say exactly what they're going to be for you because different people stop at different points, but you're going to be hitting these like roadblocks. You know, it feels like you're not getting as far as you used to. Progress has really slowed down and it's getting frustrating, and you find that you're just winding yourself up trying to work out what you're doing. Well, what I want to suggest is 3 little things that you can do to get your progress going again, things that you can do as an intermediate and things you can prioritize that are going to get you just stronger and stronger and stronger. All right. So the first thing you can do, right, is you're going to have to introduce a little bit of variation. And the simplest way I say to do this is with some basic exercise variation. Okay. So as a beginner, you hammer the basics, right? If you watch my other video on basics, like how to get stronger as a beginner, I just talk about hammering the basics: squat, deadlift, bench press, barbell rows, your simple stuff, right? As an intermediate, those things have got stale. Those movements will have got stale for you. You need to vary them up a little bit. I'm not saying go crazy on it, but now maybe on squats, instead of just doing squats, maybe you chuck in some different variations. So if you've been doing high bar squats, maybe you throw in a few low bar squats. Maybe you do a few pause squats, maybe a few tempo squats, 3 seconds down, 2 seconds at the bottom, and then fast up. That kind of thing. If you're doing deadlifts, maybe you chuck in a couple of deadlifts with a really slow eccentric. If you're doing bench press, maybe you do bench press with just a couple pauses on the chest. Maybe you throw in some dumbbell bench press or some weighted press ups or dips. So you can just expand the amount of exercises that you use just to present new stimulus. So you're not just trying to do the same stuff over and over and over and over, just running at a brick wall. Just find little ways to go around it, guys. Find different exercises. Now look, I'm not saying take the absolute piss with it, all right? I'm not saying like go and do like one leg Bosu weird crap like that. I'm still saying do strength exercises and do them hard, push them hard, but feel free to just vary the exercises a little. Point number 2, again, talking about variation. You're going to have to introduce some form of periodization, all right? That doesn't have to be anything crazy, okay? When people think about periodization, everyone seems to imagine 16-week complex programs, right? You don't really need anything. Periodization is just the variation of training stimulus over time. You've already introduced some variation by changing the exercises. So the second form of variation you're going to introduce, this periodization, if you will, is you're just going to mix up the set and rep schemes, okay? So chances are, as a beginner, you've done a lot of 5s, you've done a lot of 3s and 5s and all that kind of stuff, okay? So how about on the next, 8 weeks of your program, you do the first, 4 or 6 weeks, you do sets of 6 to 8 reps, a little bit higher, okay? You do loads of sets of 6 to 8, 4 sets of 8, 4 sets of 6, 5 sets of 6, get a bit more volume in. And then the next 4 weeks, you drop those down and you do 3 sets of 5 or 5 sets of 3 or, 6 sets of 2, that kind of thing. And it's just going to introduce enough variation to keep progress going, okay? It's just offering your body something a little bit different to overcome that adaptive resistance that it's encountered, So you can just offer it something that little bit different. And then the third thing you're going to want to do, this is something I see intermediates running at. So we've added that variation. The third thing you're going to need to do is just think a little bit more about how you structure your training to allow for recovery, okay? As a beginner, basically you're so weak that you can't damage your body that much, okay? You can train quite a lot, quite hard with, you just don't damage yourself. Squatting 60 kilos, you can do that multiple times per week, no problem. You're going to recover fine. If you're squatting now 140, 150, whatever, right? Now suddenly that's a slightly different ball game. We're going to have to change that up. So make sure that, if you have a heavier session on a Monday, maybe Wednesday's a moderate session or a lighter session. Maybe Friday's heavier again, So you're going to have this kind of waving approach where we go a little bit heavier, a little bit lighter, moderate, a little bit lighter, a little bit heavier, okay? So you can adjust how difficult your sessions are to allow for that little bit better recovery, and you can track your progress alongside that. So they're the 3 things that you're going to do as an intermediate to get stronger, okay? So you're going to, from your beginner progression, you're going to add more exercises, okay? With those exercises, you're going to vary your rep scheme in some kind of periodized manner, okay? Probably going from higher reps down to lower reps, nothing crazy. And then you're going to make sure that you monitor your recovery a little bit better and think about adding sort of like moderate days, lighter days in amongst that, just to make sure that you're recovering properly between sessions. Add those 3 things, and I can guarantee you, you're going to get at least another 6 months, probably even a year of just solid intermediate train out before we have to start talking about more advanced methods. All right, hit those things, and I'm really, really sure it's going to work for you. If that was useful, if you could literally just take 10 seconds, hit the like button down there somewhere. It really just helps get the video out of the YouTube algorithm, just that little bit. If you want some more of these videos, hit subscribe, and I'm going to make another video on training for advanced strength athletes. So you might want to catch that one too, and I'll see you there.